Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mone'e, and if you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So today I'm going to show you guys how I dyed my 1B wig cherry red color for me and my son's Christmas pictures. So right now I'm just showing you guys the wig. I got it from Amazon. The wig was about $160. I'll tag the link in the description down below if you guys are interested in buying this wig. I usually buy wigs from these people. Like, the wigs are really good. They last, and I always dye them like different colors several times. Alright, so I'm just showing you guys the wig. It had a really deep middle part. I like that because that's the style I was going for, a middle part. And the wig was in the inch of 28-inch wig. And I'm just showing you guys how full the lace is at the top. Alright, so when I went to the beauty supply, I didn't realize that the BW2 had new packaging. But at first I'm like, no, I'm gonna just go with the original. So I had about 3 or 4 scoops left of the original. Well, I want to say the original. It's still the same brand, but you know, like the original label that we're used to. So I just went ahead and put about 4 scoops of the powder. And then I just put it up to save. And I did use the 40 developer. Also, the bucket that I bought this bucket just like from the Dollar Tree because I didn't want to use like a pot or just like our Tupperware. Like, you know, I just went ahead and just bought a little bucket from the Dollar Tree. So now I'm just going to mix it all together. I like to put enough to where it's pasty but still runny at the same time. Okay, so I boiled a pot of water. So right here, I think this is kind of, well, I don't want to say kind of. So this here is where I messed up at because I have not did a bleach bath for really long. Usually, like lately, I just been buying 613 wigs and just doing the watercolor, which is way more easier. But since I was going for like a darker cherry red color, I decided to buy a black wig. So this is where I kind of messed up at. I put a little bit too much water. You're not supposed to add as much water. You see, I added the whole pot. So I poured the whole pot in there. I stirred it around. So since I added so much water, I just went ahead and put the remaining of the powder, and I put a little more of the developer. Like I said, this is where I messed up at. So yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. I haven't did it in so long. But the color did come out exactly how I wanted it, though. Okay, so this is when I started to dip the wig into the bleach bath. So I like to dip the hair in and out of the water until pretty much it catches all the bleach. And then I just go ahead and run the brush through it just to make sure that the bleach is getting through all of the hair, because you don't want your hair to be patchy. Like, you don't want it to be brown in one area, black in one area. Like, you want it to all be the same color. So that's why I brush through the hair. So I know this is a little ghetto, but I did put a plastic bag over the bucket after I finished brushing through the hair. Because I know sometimes people put like foil and all that, but I'm just like, just put a plastic bag over it. I mean, it's probably going to have the same effect anyway. So I did check on the hair about every 30 to 45 minutes just to brush through the hair to make sure all of the bleach was getting to every piece of the hair. And it did get me to about like a really light brown, I want to say, but that's not the color. I needed the color to lift a little more. Like I said earlier in the video, I did put too much hot water, so I did have to go back and make another bleach bath. Okay, so I did go in with 4 scoops of the powder. And because I know, like, sometimes when they say less is more, no, more is better, especially when you're a beginner and you're trying to bleach your hair. You don't want to buy not enough product and it's okay, you have to run back to the store. Just buy the big bucket of bleach developer and just buy the big bucket of powder. Okay, don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. No, I'm just playing, but seriously. Okay, so now I just started to, just like the beginning, I made it a little more thicker, but this time I did use a smaller pot of water just to ensure that I don't OD with the hot water. So I put the first half in and I stirred it around, size it up a little bit. Okay, let me see. Let me make sure I ain't drowning her this time, because I really need that color to lift, So now I'm stirring it around. Look at that. I'm whipping that. Thing. I ain't gonna lie. Then I added the rest of the water. Like, as you can see, it was a small pot. I used the medium pot the first time and I poured all the water in. I messed up. But you know what? It's okay. Please watch the whole video before you dye your hair, baby. Okay, so you see the color that it came out to? This was the first round, but like I said, I just wanted it to get a little more lighter. But the thing with red hair is you don't have to fry the hair in the bleach bath. Like, you don't have to dye it a really light brown color to catch red, because the dark cherry red that I was going for is going to catch regardless. If you ever dyed your hair red, then the color is going to catch, because red is such a dark color and it bleeds a lot. So once again, I'm brushing through the hair, and then I put the hair up, set my timer for 30 minutes, came back and checked it. Okay, so this is when I was coming back to check on the hair. And as you can see, the hair did get a little lighter. This is exactly the color that I wanted it to be in order to achieve the cherry red color that I was going for. Okay, so me personally, I like to spray got to be sprayed on my lace before I do the watercolor. And that's just from experience. Like I said, I do dye my hair a lot, especially with 613 wigs, and I never want the color to bleed through the lace to where my lace is red. So I do spray the got to be and I let it dry before I dip it in the color. As I'm adding the clip to this video, I'm just realizing that my phone did not record the clip of me adding the hair dye to the water. So what I did was I used that medium pot that I used at the beginning of the video with hot water, and I added 3 bottles. Well, I added 2.5. I did 2 crimson reds, and I did a half bottle, just a half bottle, maybe even less than half of the intense red, just to kind of, you know, brighten up the red color. So this is when I'm dipping the colors. I did put gloves on because, like I said, red really bleeds through and it stays on your nails and your fingers for really long. So I did go ahead and put gloves on. So right here, this is when I'm just sitting it in the water, letting it catch the water, and then just like it was when I was bleaching it, just go ahead and brush through the hair to make sure all the color catches the hair. And red is really messy, so I mean, as soon as you're done dyeing that hair, make sure you hurry up and spray you some cleaning products and clean that sink or wherever you're doing it at, because this makes a mess, especially red hair. Now, me personally, because the color caught so fast, especially when I was brushing through it, it came out the color that I wanted it to be. So I just went ahead and took it out, let it air dry for a few hours, and this is the ending results. I love it. This is exactly the color red that I wanted. I didn't want to go too bright or such a loud bright. I wanted like a calm cherry red color, and it came out exactly how I wanted it. Perfect. Hey.